Hello and welcome to yet another interesting episode of We Talk Talent series organized by ETHR World. Today we have with us Sakaar Anand, who's the country head and head of HR BMC Software India Private Limited. Sakar is a global leader with 24 plus years of success in leading human resources, functions, product and IT operations teams, and global delivery centers in various leadership roles across several industries. With a proven track record of growing various HR functions and heading centers of excellence for globalization, usability, accessibility, securability, and business intelligence worldwide, Sakar brings a perfect blend of people, process, and technology. Prior to joining BMC, Sakar was the head of HR for BNY Mellon Technology in India. Sakar, we are glad to have you with us today. Welcome.
Thank you, Apeksha. Pleasure is all mine.
So, Sakar, while we start rolling this interview, the first question obviously would be to have a viewpoint from you and a larger scenario of the disruptions and transformations in your industry. Obviously, this question makes more sense now because of all the crisis, pandemic, and all those changes which we have seen in the last 2 years. And also, if you can just throw some light on that.
What we are entering, what I call the fourth industrial revolution, which is being sparked by a pervasive connectivity, data proliferation, technology-led innovation, and radically different customer preferences, which are actually disrupting an established business model across industries. Now, more than ever, every industry will experience a seismic change as people, technologies, data, devices, and ever expanding networks converge to transform every aspect of our life, be it work life or personal life. I see 12 transformational themes that will impact the business models of every industry. I won't go through all 12, but to name a few, one is data. It is the currency of the 21st century. Those that see data's value and learn to extract and monetize it will reap huge rewards. Second is urbanization of industries. An ecosystem of partnerships wherein companies can focus on what they are good at and find partners for the rest. Third is everything as a service. Highly individualized, responsive, and data-driven products and offerings which are fully controlled by customers. Next is what I call the omnipresence intelligence, where artificial intelligence advances are impacting experiential engagement, business processes, strategies, and whatnot. Next is integrated mobility, personalized on-demand services, targeting customers on the go and contextualizing user experiences. Finally, again, all this requires a lot of cybersecurity. So there's a greater cybersecurity at stake. What we have noticed in the last few years is that there's a 300% increase in attacks targeting IoT, operational tech, and the autonomous vehicles. So, these are some of the disruptions that we are seeing in our industry, and it is being driven by, what, as I said in the beginning, technology, data, devices, and networks all converging together to change our lives.
Sure, Sakar. So we talk of business transformations, technology disruptions, and all, and they surely are going to have an impact on the jobs market. So how are you seeing those, jobs and functional areas, different functional areas, and jobs on a larger scale evolving in your sector?
Sure, Apeksha, definitely. If we look at the next 5 to 10 years, we'll be impacted by several factors across the global economy. In the next 3 to 4 years, every successful company will be technology-driven company. And we are already seeing newly spawned industries and existing industries being forced to adapt and evolve. The need to be tech savvy will not just be limited to business leaders and decision makers. Every individual needs to adapt to these changing dynamics. Each one will have to act and engage in continuous learning, looking at how the lifespan of any given skill set is shrinking these days. The roles of people in the enterprise will evolve to the new ones that require human judgment and support the autonomous systems that run these businesses. Work in the future will shift as technology takes on the mundane and repetitive tasks across the business and employees transition to a higher value responsibility. Future of work is about rethinking the way the work gets done. There'll be a fundamental shift in the work model to one that fosters human and machine collaboration, enables new skills and worker experiences, and supports an environment which is not bound by time and physical space. In short, technical acumen will be as important as the domain knowledge, regardless of the sector. Digitization and automation will be the key to deliver value in any job.
Thank you for that, Sakar. So while we are talking of all the evolving job roles and all, gig is something which has come, very impactfully on the global work map. So how do you see Indian organizations embracing it, and do you think that Indian companies are mature enough to embrace gig economy?
Yeah, if you look at the gig economy, think about it, it's not a new concept. It's just that in the past decade or so, it has expanded greatly. Workforce today is becoming more diverse in their age constitution. Millennials and Gen Z are increasingly becoming a part of India's workforce. The ability for them to get easy access to social media, technology, and the so-called gig platforms certainly is helping this expansion. A service requester can now connect, and relatively easily so, with a gig worker to hire services on a short-term basis. But this whole thing comes with its pros and cons, and that is where I feel that organizations in India are still figuring it out on how to best optimize it. And I'll tell you why I say that. While the gig economy offers the flexibility and control over one's work schedules, clients, and projects, it has certain risks and uncertainties associated with it. From a gig worker perspective, there's definitely an uncertainty from a job security perspective. In the shorter run, a gig worker can earn the income, but it's unpredictable when it comes to the future because projects are more on-demand projects. Also, what happens is that gig workers, with all due respect, would attach a certain degree of casualization to their work due to the absence of the traditional employer-employee relationship. This could lead to a lack of sustainable operations from the enterprise perspective, given the increase in competition and the available of multiple opportunities to the gig workers. And this sector also needs to be regulated a bit because there are many factors like skills and skill levels which would require a constant upgrading, and the organizations need to have need to approach it in a much structured manner, have policies and regulations attached for it to fall in the right place. So in short, again, if I say there is a need to organize this sector for the organizations to make the most of the gig economy.
Sure, Sakar. So while we are all very tied up of using this word pandemic, but it has surely created a push in different segments of HR, business, and workspace globally. So if you want to talk about something which is it has given a very large push to employee engagement strategies of various organizations because of the all kind of remote working profiles that we never thought that those profiles could go remote as well. People will be able to work from home in those profiles as well. But we have seen that it is being done because business continuity was something which was paramount in those times. So how do you see your employee engagement strategy evolving post the pandemic, and what all have you done? If you can share those stories for the larger audience here.
Oh, definitely, Apeksha. See, BMC India has been an employer of choice for close to 2 decades now. We have been recognized amongst the best places to work by various industry forums. And I'm very proud of it, though my association with BMC is a little under a year, but I'm very happy with the legacy that I've inherited as I joined BMC India. There are 2 key pillars, that we focus on when it comes to engaging our employees and keeping them motivated and excited to come to work every day. And this number 1 in this is what I call opportunities to learn and grow. And this does not change whether pandemic or no pandemic. Employees always want to be employable, and it is our responsibility to make them learn and keep pace with the changing scenario across the industry. We have implemented various programs and initiatives where employees are motivated to participate in learning and development opportunities that can help them stay ahead of the curve. Be it through our education assistance program, where employees can complete certification courses or even higher education that will be sponsored by BMC, or giving them access to an entire learning platform, which is a corporate-wide learning platform, for us, which is LinkedIn Learning. Our efforts are intended to empower our employees to choose their areas of interest, build their career development paths, and in turn, we support them to achieve it. And how do we support them to achieve it? Is think of it that learning is only theoretical till we give them a chance to implement it on the job to a real world problem. In BMC, our commitment to our employees is that we'll give them that on the job opportunity whenever they acquire a new skill. Number two, and equally important, or maybe more important in these times of the pandemic, is our focus on the health and wellness of our employees and their families. If we look at all of us, our outlook towards work and life has changed in the recent times. Focus has shifted from, what I call materialistic living to an overall gratification towards life and how it can be more meaningful. Keeping this in mind, our strategy has been towards how we can make our work meaningful for our teams. It has become very important to provide that bandwidth and opportunity for our employees to focus on work-life balance. And I know this work-life balance has also been a very overused term. But when you look at work-life balance, it is a very individual choice. And the balance between work and life shifts depending upon what stage of your life or career one is at. At BMC, we offer our employees the flexibility to make those shifts. People are looking for a larger meaning in life. Work is a part of life today and is not life. And at BMC, we very well recognize that. One thing that I would like to stress again is our effort to make an employee's family a part of the BMC family. We make every effort to reach out to employees' family, ensure their well-being, and instill a sense of pride in them about their association with BMC.
That's great, Sakar. So, no interview today is complete if we don't talk about the technologies in HR. So, to conclude this as well, we would like your take on the new age technologies, which is obviously there and they're playing a bigger role in HR as well. So, we would like to understand from you that how do you see them evolving and what greater impact do you see of all these new age technologies on business?
Great point, Apeksha. As I started, I would again say disruption is happening all around us. And, as we conduct more of our personal and professional business online, we move away from traditional in-person models. And this is only enabled, or this can only be enabled by more and more technology coming into how we do our business. The pandemic accelerated the shift across industries and within organizations. With external customers and internal customers, like I call our employees as our internal customers, with our customers becoming more demanding and also becoming more flexible, with easy to use digital services. Now, in all this, HR is no different. As much as the world went remote in 2020, the lessons learned in recruiting, onboarding, training, engaging, and even exiting employees through digital tools and channels are now driving the change and equipping HR to be more future ready. To implement future ready process changes in businesses and HR, we must become tech savvy, delivering tech enabled, consumerized employee experiences that then cascade outward to customer experiences. BMC believes in a concept called autonomous digital enterprise, wherein converting data into meaningful information, using that information to make decisions and implement those decisions with the highest level of security would be an integral part of the entire HR lifecycle. From attracting and hiring the right talent to onboarding and continuous engagement and learning would be key to any organization success, even to the point wherein, we should leave a good impression on a good last impression on the employee who's leaving us. And that can only happen through a digitalized employee lifecycle. The rapid pace of change that is driving businesses in their evolution towards, as I call the autonomous digital enterprise. It blends automation into every facet of the organization. It's also changing how and whom we hire. Everything related to how HR interacts with the employees is now technology driven. More than ever, HR now is about creating better experiences and partnerships which are beneficial to everyone. An engaged set of employees helps companies win and retain loyal customers. So building a tech-savvy HR organization that can leverage cognitive technologies and foster an ongoing, easy-to-use channel of communication is the excellent place to start. But having said that, I always, when I talk about technology in HR, I always end by saying that, artificial intelligence is out there to augment cognitive intelligence. It is not there to replace cognitive intelligence. HR organization will always have human in it, and we should use technology and artificial intelligence to increase the human touch and make it at places where it can make the biggest impact.
Thank you, Sakar. Those were some really interesting thoughts. And we would like to part on that very specific thought where you said that, the organizations will be digital, the era will be digital, but the human touch will always be there. And it is essential to make successful workplaces. So on that note, we would like to thank you for your time today and for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Apeksha. Thank you for inviting me. And it was an absolute pleasure to share my thoughts with you.
Thank you.